Ever get that feeling like your career needs a makeover, like a total refresh?
I know that feeling.
Well, it seems like you're giving that some serious thought, especially with all this research you've been doing on textile shop management.
Yeah.
And you know what? I get it. At first glance, I pictured just like bolts of fabric everywhere.
Right.
But trust me, after looking at all this, especially this cool guide from RoleCatcher, it's clear this career path is so much more than meets the eye. More than just, picking out curtains.
Absolutely. Like textile shop doesn't exactly scream cutting edge,
Right.
but it's way more dynamic than people
I'm
realize.
already seeing that.
We're talking a blend of creativity, business smarts, and knowing how to connect with people all in one job.
Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. We're about to uncover the hidden gems of this career path, and I'm already intrigued.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
So let's dish the surface and dive straight into the deep end. What does a textile shop manager actually do all day? I mean, the career guide makes it sound way more exciting than just, knowing your cotton from your cashmere.
Oh, definitely. It's much more active than people might assume.
Okay, good.
Think customer interactions, managing a whole team, and staying ahead of the trends because fashion waits for no one.
Okay, so not just sitting amongst the swatches all day then.
Nope.
What really struck me reading through this is the sheer variety of skills needed. Like, the guide mentions persuasion and negotiation skills, but I thought this was about fabric, not international diplomacy.
Right. But it makes sense when you think about it. This isn't just selling what's on the shelf. It's about building relationships with suppliers to get the best materials. And let's be real, managing a team, that takes serious persuasion skills too. Everyone's got their own style, right?
Totally. You got to be a bit of a psychologist, a fabric aficionado, and a master negotiator all rolled into one. That actually brings up another point, the career ladder. The guide breaks down how you can go from, say, shop assistant all the way up to running the whole show. What kind of skills become crucial as you climb those ranks?
It's fascinating how the focus shifts at each stage. Early on, it's all about customer service, product knowledge, those core basics. But as you progress, leadership skills, making strategic decisions like what fabrics to stock based on upcoming trends, and even managing budgets, that becomes super important. Experience really translates into a wider range of responsibilities.
So you're not just gaining expertise in textiles, you're gaining expertise in, like, running a business, essentially.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what else caught my eye? They mentioned that a textile shop sales associate, even at that level, needs an eye for visual merchandising.
Now, I'll admit, I had to Google that one.
Well, I'm sure many people would.
What is that? It's basically how they arrange the shop, the displays, the mannequins even, to make everything look amazing and catch your eye. It's a whole art form.
See, I love that. It's like being an artist, but with fabrics and textures as your medium. You're not just selling fabric, you're creating a whole experience for the customer. You're telling a story with those displays. And that level of creativity, even in the sales role, is pretty cool.
Exactly. And that's something that might surprise people about this career path. It's not all numbers and inventory. There's a real artistic side to it, even at the management level. You're curating a certain look, a certain feel for the entire shop.
Okay, but we're not living in the dark ages here.
Right.
This is the age of technology, so how does that play into landing a job in this field? That's where RoleCatcher comes in, right?
Right.
From what I've seen in these excerpts, it's like having a personal assistant for your career.
Right. Job searching can be tough, but this platform integrates AI for a real advantage. The RoleCatcher Your Competitive Edge excerpt is great for this.
Okay, yeah, I've got that one pulled up.
It explains how their AI looks at job descriptions and CVs, but not just on a surface level. It helps you understand what employers are really looking for,
Oh, that's cool.
like between the lines.
So it's like having a secret weapon that analyzes the competition and tells you exactly what skills to highlight.
Yeah, exactly.
No more sending out generic CVs and hoping for the best.
Exactly. It's about working smarter, not harder. They even have this feature called RoleCatcher.capture, where you can save jobs from different websites all in one place.
Nice.
Think about it. You're interested in textile shops, but you're browsing multiple job boards online.
Yeah.
This keeps everything organized.
No more bookmark chaos. You're speaking my language, but finding the job is only half the battle.
Right.
You've got to ace that interview.
Yeah.
And it looks like RoleCatcher has some tricks up its sleeve for that, too.
Oh, for sure. They have this whole interview practice feature where you can actually practice answering common interview questions, even record yourself and get feedback. It's like having a personal coach, which can be invaluable.
Okay, so RoleCatcher can help you land the interview. But what about the actual questions they might ask about the textile shop manager role specifically?
Mhm.
Did any of those in the career guide stand out to you?
There were definitely a couple that highlight just how dynamic this role really is.
Okay.
For example, one question asks how you would stay current with the latest textile technologies and techniques, which, to be honest, isn't something people automatically associate with textiles.
Yeah, when I think textiles, I think craftsmanship, tradition, not necessarily cutting-edge tech.
Right, but it makes sense. We're talking new fabrics, sustainable manufacturing processes. This industry is constantly evolving.
Oh, that's actually really interesting. It's like, even though it's a traditional field, there's this whole liquor of innovation that most people don't even see.
Totally. And that's what makes it so fascinating. Another question that caught my eye was about balancing the needs of the business with the needs of customers. It highlights that constant challenge of keeping customers happy and coming back for more while also making sure the business is profitable. That's retail in a nutshell, really.
It's like walking a tightrope sometimes, right?
Totally.
And something tells me a textile shop manager needs to be particularly good at that, considering the different personalities they're dealing with, both customers and staff.
Oh, absolutely. It's a people-oriented role, no doubt about it. You need those emotional intelligence skills just as much as the business acumen.
For sure.
Speaking of which, the guide mentions something interesting about seasonal demand.
Oh, yeah, it's not a consistent flow in retail, is it? You've got your peaks and dips, especially in fashion.
Exactly. And that creates a whole other set of challenges for a manager. You can't just manage the day-to-day. You need to be prepared for those busy seasons, whether it's adjusting staff schedules or making sure you've got enough inventory.
Okay, so not just fashion forward, but also thinking ahead strategically.
Yeah,
It sounds like a career that keeps you on your toes.
it does.
But I have a feeling there's even more to uncover. What else did you find interesting in these resources?
Well, there's this one point about building relationships with suppliers that I think is particularly insightful, and it really gets to the heart of what makes a successful textile shop manager.
So we're talking about climbing the textile ladder.
Yeah.
What does that actually look like?
It's actually pretty well defined in the guide.
Okay.
You usually start as a sales associate, like we talked about before. That's where you're mastering the basics, customer service, product knowledge, that eye for visual merchandising.
Great.
You're on the floor, learning the ropes, and honestly, probably getting to talk about fabric all day.
Sounds like a dream come true for the right person.
Right.
So what's the next rung up?
From there, you might become a senior sales associate or a team leader.
Okay.
This is where you start taking on more responsibility. Maybe even supervising other sales associates, training them, making sure the shop floor runs smoothly.
Okay. So this is where those leadership skills start to become really important.
Yeah,
It's not just about your own performance anymore,
right.
but how you elevate the whole team.
Exactly. And you might also have more input on things like inventory. Maybe even working with the manager to choose which fabrics to stock based on what you're hearing from customers. You're becoming a more integral part of the business.
I love that. You're moving from understanding the fabrics to understanding the customers and how to actually run the shop.
Exactly. And this sets you up perfectly for the next step, assistant manager.
Okay.
This is where the training wheels come off,
Right.
and you're really getting into the nitty-gritty of managing budgets, maybe even handling some of the supplier relationships, overseeing staff schedules. You're essentially the manager's right hand.
Wow. So it's like you're running a mini business within the larger shop.
Right.
No pressure.
Right. But that's how you learn.
Mm.
And of course, all this experience prepares you for the ultimate goal, textile shop manager.
There you go.
You're calling the shots, making the big decisions,
Yeah.
using all those skills you've built up over time to create something truly special.
It's like a master class in both the creative and business sides of fashion. You know, it's funny. We started this deep dive thinking about fabrics,
Yeah.
but we've uncovered so much more than that. It's about people. It's about innovation. It's about building something unique in a world that's increasingly digital.
It really is. And one thing that really stood out to me in all these resources is the passion behind this career path. It's not just a job. It's a love for textiles, a desire to connect with people who share that passion.
You know, that shines through in everything we've discussed.
Yeah.
And it's contagious. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's one final thought you want to leave our listener with?
I think the guide says it best. The textile industry is constantly evolving, so a love for learning is essential. So if you're considering this path, don't stop at this deep dive. Keep exploring, keep researching, keep asking questions. because this is a field with endless possibilities for those who are truly passionate about it.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure diving deep into the world of textile shop management with you.
The pleasure was all mine.